Hi everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and welcome back to the WWE 2K15 Universe Mode, and this, which is our next episode of Combat Zone Wrestling's Hardcore Television. So let's have a quick look at the card I've got set for you this evening. We're going to start things off with the Sandman taking on Taz. We're going to see two guys that will be facing off in the Cage of Death match in 3 weeks' time, Dean Ambrose and Ricochet. Diamond Dallas Page faces off against Rhino in an Extreme Rules match. A little bit of a twisted matchmaking here by somebody, as Masada and Bam Bigelow showed a lot of sort of rubbing each other the wrong way last week. We'll be tag teaming this evening to take on the established team of RVD and Sabu. And at main event this evening will be Tommy Dreamer taking on Just Incredible in a one-on-one match. So without further ado, let's get straight into our first match of the evening. And as I said, that first match this evening will be the Sandman taking on Taz. And here we go, we are underway, and I may be wrong, but I think there could be a chance. I may be wrong. My memory's not fan. I'm sure that Taz is the current Wired champion here. We know that for sure. And I'm pretty sure that the Sandman is the current Ultravan Underground champion as well. So this is a champion versus champion match. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that is the case. Of course, both these guys will be defending their belts at the big finale pay-per-view in 3 weeks' time, Cage of Death. I keep calling it 3 weeks' time, but as I say, I'm going to try and upload it a bit sooner than that. Try and get as much upload as we possibly can before 2K16 comes out, and then just seamlessly float straight into that. And as I mentioned in a few of my videos recently, I'm going to have an extra playlist next year where I'm going to just upload random individual matches. And I want your guys' help if you can. I want some suggestions for matches that you would love to see. It can be anybody versus anybody. It doesn't matter if they're on the game or not. Of course, the ones on the game will be a lot easier and quicker to do, don't get me wrong. But I've been thinking of certain things such as... it can be historical matches or just matches you want to see. I've thought up of Dean Ambrose versus Brian Pillman, both very, very similar wrestlers. Obviously things like The Undertaker versus Lesnar, of course, The Undertaker versus Bray Wyatt, Undertaker versus Kane, Triple H versus The Undertaker, Vince McMahon versus Shane McMahon in a street fight. How about Kurt Angle versus Shane McMahon in an Extreme Rules match? So, to say the limit is limitless of what you want to see. It can be anybody in any type of match. I'm also thinking of doing Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio from Halloween Havoc in '96, I believe it was, over in WCW. RVD versus Sabu is always a great match. Like I say, I need your help, guys. Just send me in as many suggestions as you could possibly think of. I will list them all down, get them all done over a period of time, obviously, get them all recorded. And of course, I'll give you a shout out in the process. I've already got one listed down from Kenny. I don't know if you're watching this video, Kenny, but if you are, hi. He suggested a few weeks back that he wanted to see Stone Cold Steve Austin take on Hulk Hogan, which is a feud we're currently doing over on the Attitude Era. But I'll also be uploading that as one of our matches early on in the 2K16 series. To say, of course, Hulk Hogan's not on the game, but we'll be downloading him for the Universe Mode anyway. So, yeah, we'll see Austin versus Hogan. Sandman going for an pin, only for a 2 count. Yeah, so like I say, just give me any list of what you want to see. It can be anyone. I'm also going to do a few of the new guys, get them all used as well. We're going to have Kevin Owens versus Finn Balor in a ladder match. Enzo and Cass versus the Vaudevillains. There's so many possibilities that we could possibly go for. So, yeah, like I say, just let me know what you guys want to see, and I'll try and upload it all. I'm thinking of even more matches now. Mankind versus Undertaker, Hell in a Cell. Cactus Jack versus Triple H, Hell in a Cell. 6-man Armageddon, Hell in a Cell. There's just so many. It's just endless possibilities of just matches. Dragon suplex here by Taz and hold to the bridge and the pin. Only for a 1 count though. It's going to take a bit more than that for Taz to finish off Sandman. And look at that suplex. It's like a collarbone suplex. He drops Sandman on top of his head and Sandman looks down and out. This could be all here. 1. Only a 1 count again. Sandman showing some incredible resilience, and I think that is one of the main stats he has on this Universe Mode. I don't think he's set up as very good attacking wise or defending wise, really. He's just He's just really resilient and can take a hell of a beating, which is perfect for the Sandman, really. It wasn't because he was such a tough guy. I think 9 times out of 10 it's because he was just too drunk to feel it. And I think there are videos. We see him on some of the ECW documentaries, and there's videos of backstage of Sandman drinking, smoking, and other bits and bobs that shall not be spoken of. But I'm surprised he managed to get a show out at all. Sometimes he really was off his face for most of it. But then again, a lot of the ECW guys were. He just came with the. It came with the hardcore wrestling was some way of nulling the pain. Taz now wrenching back on the neck, and I wonder now if half the guys that from ECW would actually get a job in WWE now because of the wellness policy and things like that. Great backdrop there by the Sandman, showing some hardcore, showing some wrestling ability of his own. Now he's rolling Taz over, but Taz back up to his feet. There's a right hand by Taz. Sandman tripping him over. Taz back up to his feet and just launched over the top of the head of the Sandman. Of course, we do have an extra episode for you on Combat Zone Wrestling this week. Should be uploaded tomorrow, along with obviously the Retro Rosters Starcade. I'll get into that later on, but we're going to have the Combat Zone Wrestling Tag Team #1 Contendership Tournament. We're going to have 8 teams all looking to become the #1 contender for Drake Younger and Sami Callihan's championships. The winners of that tournament will go on to face them at the Cage of Death pay-per-view in a couple of weeks' time. Sandman over front. So Sandman locked into a front guillotine hold by Taz. Taz releases Sandman. Is there enough damage? No, Sandman back up to his feet. Great Samoan drop by Taz. Now brings Sandman back up to his feet, and again going for that dragon suplex, holding the bridge and the pin, and surely this time it's all, and it is. Taz, your current Wired champion, defeats the Sandman here. We see a few of the highlights, and that was that horrendous suplex, dropping Sandman on the top of his head. I look like Sandman was going for one of his patented DDTs there, but Taz reversed. Now Sandman throwing Taz into that corner. Taz avoiding the clothesline. That was a great replay, wasn't it? And here we see the finale. Taz bringing Sandman back up to his feet, and there it is. The Dragon Suplex, holding the bridge and the pin for a 3 count. And Taz, your Wired champion, picks up the victory. Of course, both these guys, again, will be involved in the Universe mode next year. But they're both going to be in the Attitude Era roster. Both going to be part of the Hardcore division over there. Of course, Combat Zone Wrestling is going to be null and void next year. It's going to be replaced by NXT. So all the hardcore wrestlers will be moving to Attitude Era. Dude. I still remember Taz's debut in WWE. It was amazing. Against Kurt Angle at the Royal Rumble, I'm sure it was. Open challenge. That was an immense match. And our second match here this evening will be Dean Ambrose taking on Ricochet. Here we go. Of course, both these guys will be involved in that big Cage of Death in 2 weeks' time at the Combat Zone Wrestling finale episode, as Caprice Coleman defends his Combat Zone Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. Of course, I think Dean Ambrose will be more at home in that situation out of these two. And maybe out of the entire match, really. Got Chris Hero, Biff Busick, both very stiff workers, but still not used to that sort of deathmatch style, which we will be seeing in the Hell in a Cell. There's also, let's say, Ricochet. And there's only 5. Coleman, Ambrose, Hero, Busick, Ricochet. That's only 5. Who else is in that match? Wait 1 second, let's flip it through my paperwork. Adam Cole. Adam Cole's also in there as well. Born and bred in Combat Zone Wrestling, but still not the hardcore side. He's very much a very accomplished wrestler, but he will be involved in that match as well, going for that Combat Zone Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. Of course, whoever wins that match will be forever the Combat Zone Wrestling Heavyweight Champion here on 2K15. He'll be hidden away somewhere in the archives of YouTube to exist forever as that champion. Back elbow there by Ricochet. And of course, it was Dean Ambrose who was the ever-present champion here in Combat Zone Wrestling until that fateful night a couple of weeks ago when Caprice Coleman cashed in his opportunity at the championship, which he earned by winning the best of the best pay-per-view about a month or two ago. And it amazed me, the amount of people that have fought against Dean Ambrose for that Combat Zone Wrestling Heavyweight Championship, for it to be Caprice Coleman. No offense to Caprice Coleman, but Ambrose had defended against Wyatt, defended against Busick, defended against Ricochet. On several occasions he could defend against Busick. Defended against Rhino as well. He really defended that belt quite a few times against some very, very top-class athletes. And again, no offense to Caprice Coleman, but for Caprice Coleman to walk in here and win that belt really shows that that everyone is as good as everyone really in this in the indie wrestling scene at the moment. There's some fantastic wrestlers and some incredible surprise packages as well. Ambrose with a pin here on Ricochet, only for a 1 count. And we have a lot of our card already built up. No, we don't have much of our card at all built up for Combat Zone Wrestling. We know that Callahan and Young will be defending their tag team championships against the winners of the tag team tournament tomorrow. Taz will be defending against Wyatt Championship, and I'm not quite sure who that's going to be against yet, but I think again it might depend on the results on that tournament tomorrow. Whoever's not involved in the #1 contender tag team match, then of course RVD and Sabu are going to be in the tag team #1 contendership tournament, so those two are definitely going to be someone that could go for the Wyatt Championship. Of course, Jerry Lynn will be looking for a chance to win that belt back as well, so again, that's an opportunity. We've got our free feuds, of course, as well, and our Ultravan Underground Championship as well, which is currently held, I think, by the Sandman. I'll have to double check, but I think it's Sandman. And again, depending on some of the matches tomorrow, we will be finding out who's going to be available to face off against him. So as I said, Cage of Death is going to be in a couple of weeks' time, maybe sooner, depending on how quickly I can get some episodes recorded and uploaded. I'm away. I like to say I'm away this week. I'm away now on this Saturday when you're watching this video. I'm away. Ricochet, the big kick to the head of Ambrose and go for the pin. So close to a free count. Yeah, I'm away at the moment, so all these videos have been recorded ahead of time. I get back on Sunday, so tomorrow, and hopefully I'm going to try and blitz through a lot of episodes. Of course, as of Sunday, there will be no more Retro roster. That is the finale episode, Starcade. After that, we'll have no more Retro shows. So that's going to save me 1 show a week. And of course, when Combat Zone Wrestling, this show finishes in a couple of weeks' time, that'll be another one disappearing, and then it'll all start to get quicker and quicker and quicker, I think, towards the end. Ricochet, great running forearms, took Dean Ambrose down here, going for the pin, 1, 2, and 3, and Ricochet picks up some vital momentum going into this Cage of Death match in a couple of weeks' time, and Dean Ambrose suffers his second loss on Combat Zone Wrestling Heavyweight Television in the matter of a few weeks. We've not seen him lose at all for a long time in this universe mode, and all of a sudden these other guys seem to be coming in and realising what they can do. That was a pin after that big kick to the side of the head. Only for a 2 count though. And after that big running forearm, a lot of pace and power behind that. Looks like it took Dean Ambrose out, and Ricochet, of course, had a fantastic time over in Global Force Wrestling during the G1 Climax Festival. Is really starting to use some of that momentum here now in Combat Zone Wrestling. And will this be the scene we see in 2 weeks' time, sorry, at the Cage of Death pay-per-view? Will Ricochet be holding that championship high above his head? You'll have to tune in and find out, won't you? And our next match here this evening will be Diamond Dallas Page taking on Rhino in an Extreme Rules match. Rhino is one of my favourite wrestlers, I must admit. He has been for a very long time. I don't know what it is about him, but I've always liked Rhino. And he's going to be a big, big part of our universe mode next year, because not only will Rhino be working for the Attitude Era as part of the Hardcore roster, he'll also be working for NXT, and he'll also be working Ring of Honor at the same time. So Rhino is going to be very much spread next year. He's going to be across 3 rosters out of the 6, which will be great. That's what I'm looking for next year, is a lot of utility guys who can fit in most rosters. Going to see the same with Brian Kendrick and Paul London. They're going to work Global Force Wrestling, Ring of Honor. They're going to work in Attitude Era as a tag team, and they're going to work in NXT as well. So again, they're going to be in 4 of the 6 rosters. So there's not, don't get me wrong, there's not a lot of people we can do that with, but the people we can, we're definitely going to use to our advantage. Really does help us out, and of course, the main differences are going to be Ring of Honor and Global Force working together. There's going to be a lot of crossovers. Of course, the only new feature, well, there's 2 new features I know of in the Universe mode so far, and one of them is the fact that you can book people for multiple shows, which is really going to help us out. And the other one is that Renee Young is going to be involved in some of the backstage segments in the Universe mode. So that lets us know that backstage segments are now going to be part of the rivalry system, I should imagine. Which is really good because it's an extra way to develop feuds rather than just having singles matches every single week. So that's definitely a great way of doing that. And yeah, that'd be interesting. So like I say, I can plan now knowing that I can use guys in more than one roster. It helps us definitely boost it all up. But again, I need to know more details so I can try and really plan it out better. And I mentioned a few of my videos I recorded earlier in the week. Don't know if you watch any of those, but if you don't, I mentioned wouldn't it be fantastic if they allowed us to run more than one show on a day. Although I have realised since then it would probably kill me doing that because of all the extra episodes I'd have to upload. But yeah, my plan, if they did let us do that, which would be incredible, if they did, then I probably would run WCW as well in the Attitude Era. Of course, I'd do Mondays would get... Monday Night Raw, normal current day roster, would probably get a SmackDown and a Superstars episode as well. And Attitude Era would get a SmackDown and a Heat episode, and WCW would also have Thunder. So don't get me wrong, there'd be a hell of a lot of episodes for me to upload, but it would really help us build such a fantastic universe mode. But again, it's a bridge that I can't see happening, but if it does happen, then we shall cross it and we shall plan accordingly. It'd be fantastic if it did happen, don't get me wrong, but like I say, I don't think it will happen. But like I said, as long as they give us more feud spots, they give us more spots for championships, I think that's definitely going to help us out and allow us to do a much better universe mode. Of course, by developing the, I'm not going to make wholesale changes, but developing the rivalry system and just trying to cut down the amount of crashes as well would really help. And again, I really want to get some more detail. We've got detail on everything else so far. We know the full roster, we know the DLC, we know the My Career mode stuff, we know the creation suite, we know the create a diva, create a title, create an arena, create a show as a new thing they're doing as well. We know all of that. We know all the My Career, we know the achievements, we know what music's going to be played in the game. We don't know anything about the universe mode yet, and I'm just desperate to try and get some detail. If you guys know any more detail that I haven't just listed, then please let me know. I really want to know as much as I can about the universe mode. It's the main reason I buy this game. Without the universe mode, I don't think I'd bother with the game. I really don't, because it just doesn't... I'm not a big fan of the showcases. There's just not a lot in the showcase. Once you've done it, you've done it. My Career mode is something I might do next year. I've not really played the game a lot, to tell the truth. I do a lot of this recording, but I don't actually play the game myself, so I'm pretty bad at it. So I might have to practice a little bit before doing the My Career mode, but it's definitely something I'd like to do, and obviously record for you guys as well, just so we can do something together. That won't be as often as the universe mode. The universe mode will be keeping to at least one video a day, maybe more, depending on how crazy I am. But then again, it might be a lot easier and quicker to upload and record episodes if it doesn't crash as often and runs a bit more fluid. That'd be a lot better. As Rhino takes DDP up, and we've seen this before. There's the tornado cutter. Rhino probably should have pinned a bit quicker, but still the 2 and the 3 count. Rhino picks up the victory here of a Diamond Dallas Page in an Extreme Rules match. Saw a lot of action in this one. There's that tilt-a-whirl sidewalk slam by DDP on Rhino. I'm sure there was a power driver on DDP on the outside first as well, but there's DDT. The game seems to show us all the reversals mainly, but there's the tornado cutter by Rhino. And that's what eventually finished off Diamond Dallas Page. And there is the freak out. Rhino victorious here over Diamond. Oh. Rhino here decided not to leave the ring and just continues the assault of a DDP. And now it's time for match number 4 this evening as the established team of RVD and Sabu take on the makeshift team of 2 guys that frankly don't like each other, Bam Bigelow and Masada. As you see here, Bam and Masada, before this match even started, arguing about who's going to start, and finally Bam breaks and Masada's going to start this match alongside Rob Van Dam. So already we're seeing a bit of heat within the team of Masada and Bam Bigelow taking on the established team of RVD and Sabu. Of course, RVD and Sabu will be part of our tag team number 1 contendership tournament tomorrow, as will Bam Bigelow and DDP as part of the Jersey Triad. And this evening is a chance for both these teams, well, apart from Masada's not really involved in the competition, but both these teams to really pick up some momentum going forward into that competition tomorrow. Of course, we know the winner of the tournament will go on to face Drake Younger and Sami Callihan, or Solomon Crow if you will, for the Tag Team Championships at the Cage of Death pay-per-view, that big finale episode. And talking of finale episodes, I know I've already mentioned it once this evening, but Starrcade for our retro roster will be uploaded tomorrow, and that is the finale then of the retro roster. There'll be no more retro roster episodes after that. Of course, we're going to have a big main event, which is going to be Hulk Hogan defending his WWF Championship in a fatal 4-way elimination match against Ric Flair, Bret Hart and The Undertaker. It took me a while to remember that then. Also going to see Rowdy Roddy Piper defending his Intercontinental Championship against the King of the Ring, Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig. We'll also see culminations of a few feuds. We're going to see Vader and Psycho Sid face off. There's going to be Owen Hart and the British Bulldog, and there's going to be Jake the Snake Roberts and Macho Man Randy Savage as well. And of course the Tag Team Championship, the Blade Runners will be defending their belts against the Legion of Doom. So yeah, as I said, be sure to check that one out. It's going to be the last ever retro roster episode. It will be uploaded tomorrow on Sunday the 18th of October, I believe. Yeah, be sure to check that out. If you don't know where to find it, of course, just nip down to the description below this video and you'll find the link to the retro roster playlist, along with all the other playlists we're currently running in this universe mode. And you can check that out there. Of course, you do need to wait until the end of this video, of course. You need to watch the rest of this video first. We still have our big main event here for you this evening. We're going to have Tommy Dreamer and Just Incredible in a ring together this evening. And of course we have the finale of this match. Will Bam Bigelow and Masada be able to keep it together? And will RVD and Sabu be able to capitalise on the poor communication? However, teamwork seems to be working quite well so far for Bam and Masada. Apart from that little bit of argy-bargy before the match to decide who's going to start, they seem to be working together quite well, making frequent tags and not doing too badly. Of course, RVD starting to take some control of the match here now. With a snap suplex on Bam, brings him back up to his feet, gets her in the back. And there's a backdrop as well. RVD showing his strength. And RVD is somebody who's not on the game next year, which surprised me. I thought they've got his model. I know he's not with the company per se anymore, but he hasn't had a dodgy sort of leaving like CM Punk or Alberto Del Rio or Hulk Hogan, anyone like that. He's just sort of drifted out of it, and I thought if they had his model they might have just kept him on there as a legend maybe, but he's not on the roster reveal, so it looks like we're going to have to create him next year. As you see, RVD holding Bam in place and Sabu with a coast to coast. Great move there, and now assisted dropkick using the ropes. Another bit of poor AI there. They know what's going to happen after that tag team maneuver, but RVD was still just walking into the grounded opponent, which is a bit dodgy, but it's effective nonetheless. As Bam locking Sabu in with that Boston Crab submission hold, but RVD's across the ring quickly and breaks it up. And again, Bam Bam making a tag into his partner Masada here this evening. We've seen these two guys rub each other up the wrong way over recent times. And there's that backdrop into a slam there by Masada, who's signaling now for something. He takes Sabu up. There's the Death Valley driver. Bam Bam has taken RVD off the apron. And could this makeshift team pick up a victory here this evening? Masada with a pin. 1, 2. No, RVD's there quickly enough, and Bam Bam had not done enough to take him out of the match. Masada takes RVD out himself with that big boot. But while concentrating on RVD, Sabu comes creeping up beside him and now locks in the octopus stretch on Masada. RVD took Bam Bam out, but not before Bam Bam had a chance to hit a gut punch to Sabu, making Sabu stop the octopus stretch. Sabu there with that running sort of overcastle. RVD making his way back to his corner slowly but surely. Looks like he's taking a bit of damage, and now Sabu looked like he was going to go for a springboard but changed his mind. Come back into the ring and catches Masada with the clothesline. RVD goes for a springboard frog splash cross body. Bringing Masada into the middle of the ring. We go for the pin. 1, 2. Oh, and Bam Bam was there just in time. He's not the quickest man in the world, but he managed to get there. Masada dropping his body weight on the inside of the knee. And now makes the tag in. Here comes Bam Bam on the hot tag, which obviously fails like they all do. Bam Bam with a quick roll up. 1, 2. Oh, not enough. 1, 2, 3, and that's it. RVD reversed the quick roll up. Masada just stood there watching on the apron. Knew he wasn't going to make it on time. And it's RVD and Sabu pick up the victory. They're going to take the momentum into that tag team #1 contendership tournament tomorrow. Here's that backdrop sort of into the rock bottom style slam by Masada. There's the Death Valley driver, which could have been it all, but Bam Bam was just a bit slow on removing RVD from the ring. And there was the quick roll up by Bam Bam, and it was RVD who reversed it. Masada had his back to it at the time. And you see Bam Bam is not happy with Masada at all. These two arguing now, and Bam Bam's on his way out. I'm sure Bam Bam will be happy to know that he's going to get his tag team partner DDP back for the #1 contendership tournament tomorrow. And now our main event here this evening as Tommy Dreamer takes on Just Incredible. Oh, Just Incredible here attacking Tommy Dreamer on his way to the ring. Incredible could not wait for his own entrance. He makes his way down and just takes Tommy Dreamer out from behind. Of course, Dreamer has not exactly been the nice guy in this universe, by any stretch of the imagination, attacking his tag team partner Terry Funk a few months back now. And since then, he's always had a bit of an attitude issue here in the universe mode, and it's what's rubbed up PJ Polacco Just Incredible here the wrong way. And of course, this is one of the feuds that we are moving towards Cage of Death with. And as that's the Cage of Death pay-per-view, maybe we should have a couple more cage matches here and there. Maybe we can do something else just to add a bit more spice into it. It's a possibility, isn't it? I'm writing a note down on my little pad there just to remember to do something interesting. It's Just Incredible continuing the assault here on Tommy Dreamer. Of course, remember, this isn't a Extreme Rules match or a full scale anyway. This is a normal singles match, but of course these two guys haven't made it into the ring yet, so the bell hasn't gone to start this match. So until then, these two guys are just fighting. This is unsanctioned at the moment. Headlock by Dreamer, and it's a big back elbow by Just Incredible. And a big boot to the chest, and to say these two guys are continuing to fight it out. on the outside. The match hasn't even started yet. Referee has absolutely no control over this at all at the moment. Big right hand by Dreamer taken Just Incredible down. And now mounted with a punches to the side of the head of Just Incredible. Dreamer now with a neck breaker on Incredible. Incredible with a knee to the stomach, trying to regain some momentum. Dreamer seems to be controlling the match at the moment. Every time Incredible tries to build a little bit of momentum, Dreamer is there to take him back down. It's Incredible now with a backdrop on the outside. Dreamer's upper back and the neck and the back of the head hitting the matting very hard. Of course, that matting, as you can see, is incredibly thin. There's not much protection from the concrete below at all. That's still going to hurt a hell of a lot. Dreamer with the sleeper hold locked in. Just Incredible's tapping out, but of course it means nothing. The match hasn't even started yet. Dreamer does break the submission hold. And Incredible there with the neck breaker. Of course, as you just saw, Just Incredible did tap out, but as I said, the match hasn't even started yet. Until these two guys make it into the ring, I'm surprised the referee hasn't even called this one off yet. He's given this every opportunity to keep going. And there's the big DDT by Just Incredible on Tommy Dreamer. And Tommy Dreamer's in the ring. Is Incredible going to follow him in? Ladies and gentlemen, this match is now officially started. And this is going to be quite a short match, I would imagine, in the record books, because the damage has been done by both these guys on the outside. Dreamer takes Incredible up, and there's the pile driver, and that could be all. Dreamer with a pin. 1, 2. No need a 2 count. Incredible still in this one for a very small amount of time anyway, as Dreamer hits that beautiful DDT. 1, 2, and 3. Game, set, match. Tommy Dreamer here. And you see some of the highlights from earlier on the outside. That is Dreamer landing on the ring steps. This is when they finally got back into the ring and started the match off. There's the pile driver by Tommy Dreamer. That was only for a 2 count though. As you see here, 1 and 2. And then as soon as Incredible made his way back up to his feet, Dreamer catches him in that DDT. A move he's fallen back onto many a times in the past. And it was successful again here for him this evening against Just Incredible. Another great win here for Tommy Dreamer. Alright guys, that is the end of this episode. Hope you've all enjoyed it. It's been a very interesting one. We've seen the development of a few feuds here this evening. We also know we're going to have an extra episode tomorrow, as the #1 contendership for the Tag Team Championships will be determined for our big Cage of Death pay-per-view in 2 weeks' time. Be sure to keep an eye on that one as well. If you could thumbs up the video, fantastic, and of course subscribing is 10 times better for me, and you get a nice cheeky little buzz every time I upload a video. I've been Shabby Gamer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.